The blockchain in action. The blockchain is the backbone of the Bitcoin network. It serves as a decentralized ledger, recording every transaction and ensuring the security, transparency, and integrity of the Bitcoin system. In this video, we'll explore how the blockchain works, why it's revolutionary, and how it enables Bitcoin to function in a trustless and decentralized way. The role of the blockchain. The blockchain is often described as a digital ledger or distributed ledger technology, DLT. While this description captures the basic function of the blockchain, recording transactions, it only scratches the surface of what makes it revolutionary. The blockchain isn't just a ledger, it's a decentralized, immutable, and transparent system for recording transactions across a network of computers. This makes it incredibly secure and resistant to manipulation. Key characteristics of the blockchain. Decentralization. Unlike traditional databases that are stored on a single server or controlled by a central authority, the blockchain is distributed across thousands of computers, called nodes, around the world. Each node keeps a copy of the entire blockchain. This decentralized nature ensures that there is no single point of failure. If one node goes down or is compromised, the network remains intact. Immutability. Once a transaction is recorded in the blockchain, it cannot be altered or deleted. This is because each block in the blockchain contains a reference to the previous block, forming a chain of blocks. If someone were to try to change a block, they would have to change every subsequent block in the chain, which is practically impossible. This makes the blockchain incredibly secure and trustworthy. Transparency. Every transaction that occurs on the Bitcoin network is recorded on the blockchain, which is publicly accessible. While Bitcoin transactions are pseudonymous, i.e., they are not tied to real-world identities, anyone can view the transaction history of any Bitcoin address. This transparency allows anyone to verify that transactions are valid without needing to trust any central authority on how transactions are processed. To understand how the blockchain works in action, let's break down how Bitcoin transactions are created, verified, and added to the blockchain. Each of these steps is vital to the operation of the network and ensures that the system is secure and reliable. Step 1. Transaction creation. When you want to send Bitcoin to someone, your Bitcoin wallet creates a transaction. This transaction contains several pieces of important information. Sender's public key, the address from which the Bitcoin is being sent. Recipient's public key, the address to which the Bitcoin is being sent. Amount, the number of Bitcoins being transferred. Digital signature, a cryptographic signature that proves the rightful owner of the Bitcoin made the transaction. Once the transaction is created, it's broadcast to the Bitcoin network. At this point, the transaction is not yet confirmed. It must go through the verification process. Step 2. Verification. After the transaction is broadcast, it is picked up by nodes in the Bitcoin network. Nodes are simply computers running the Bitcoin software that help maintain the network's security and integrity. Each node checks the validity of the transaction by verifying the following. Sufficient balance. The node ensures that the sender has enough Bitcoin to complete the transaction. If the sender is trying to spend more Bitcoin than they own, the transaction will be invalid. Digital signature. The node checks that the sender's private key correctly signs the transaction. This ensures that the transaction has not been tampered with. Proper format. The transaction must adhere to the rules of the Bitcoin network, e.g., adequate input/output structure, correct transaction format, etc. If the transaction passes all these checks, it is considered valid and is added to a pool of pending transactions, also known as the mempool. Step 3. Inclusion in a block. Once a transaction is verified, it enters the mempool and waits to be included in a block. Miners, special nodes in the Bitcoin network, select transactions from the mempool and group them into a block. A block is essentially a bundle of transactions that have been verified and are ready to be permanently added to the blockchain. A block also contains a block header, which includes metadata about the block, such as the timestamp, the hash of the previous block, and the miner's reward. Step 4. Consensus, proof of work. To add block to the blockchain, miners must reach consensus. That is, they must agree that the block is valid. This is where the concept of proof of work, POW, comes into play. Proof of work is a process in which miners compete to solve a complex cryptographic puzzle. This puzzle requires computational power to solve, and the first miner to solve it gets the right to add the block to the blockchain. The process of solving this puzzle is computationally intensive, which is why miners use powerful computers to try to solve it. Once a miner successfully solves the puzzle, they broadcast the block to the rest of the network. Other nodes verify the solution, and if the block is valid, they add it to their own copy of the blockchain. The miner is then rewarded with newly created Bitcoin, called the block reward, and transaction fees from the transactions included in the block. This process is what makes Bitcoin secure and decentralized. No central authority controls the creation of new blocks or verifies transactions. Instead, the network relies on consensus through proof of work. The power of decentralization. One of the most potent aspects of Bitcoin and its blockchain is decentralization. Unlike traditional financial systems, where records are stored and controlled by a central entity, like a bank, Bitcoin's blockchain is distributed across thousands of independent nodes worldwide. Here's why decentralization matters. Security. With no central point of failure, the blockchain is incredibly resistant to hacking or censorship. To alter the blockchain, a malicious actor would have to control more than 50% of the network's computing power, a practically impossible feat. The decentralized nature of the blockchain makes it highly secure and tamper-resistant. Trustlessness. The blockchain allows for transactions to take place without the need for a trusted intermediary, like a bank or payment processor. You don't need to trust a third party with your money. Bitcoin's decentralized consensus mechanism ensures that transactions are valid and secure without relying on any one entity. Censorship resistance. Since the blockchain is distributed across thousands of nodes, no government or organization can easily shut it down or block transactions. This is particularly important for individuals living in countries with oppressive governments or unstable financial systems. Bitcoin provides a way to send and receive money freely, regardless of geographic or political boundaries. Conclusion. The blockchain is the revolutionary technology behind Bitcoin that enables it to operate as a decentralized, secure, and transparent digital currency. By recording transactions in an immutable and decentralized ledger, the blockchain removes the need for trusted intermediaries, provides security against fraud, and ensures that the Bitcoin network operates without a central authority. Understanding how the blockchain works is essential to understanding why Bitcoin is so revolutionary. It is the blockchain that gives Bitcoin its strength, security, and ability to function as a truly global currency. As we continue to explore Bitcoin's potential, the blockchain will remain at the heart of its transformation of the financial landscape. If you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe. Leave a comment and ask questions. Thank you for watching.